I am Wilhelm Ward, your second narrator for this series on Shogunate Japan. This episode is about the samurai, the warrior class of Japan. Samurai origins go back to the Han period campaigns to conquer the native Meiji period in the Tokuhu area. Around the same time, warriors were being hired more by rich landowners that had become independent of the central government and built armies for their own protection. The two most powerful of these clans, the Minamoto and Taira, eventually challenged the central government and fought each other for command of the whole country. Minamoto Yoritomo won and set up a new military government in 1192, led by the shogun, or most powerful military commander. Samurai used a range of weapons, from bows and arrows to spears and guns, but the main weapon and symbol was the sword, the samurai katana. The katana was generally about 103 centimeters long, with the blade, which is called ken, about 68 centimeters, and the hilt, tsuko, about 35. The steel blade was forged and folded over 200 times. It was carried in a scabbard, saya, which was tucked into the samurai belt. The ratio of blade to hilt was about 2 to 1, which makes the hilt much longer than the average European sword. The hilt, tsuko if you remember, was about the size of a standard ruler. The samurai gripped it at the top, just below the cut guard, and at the bottom, the pommel. This allowed extreme flexibility. Modern toy katanas are grossly misrepresented in the fact that the hilt to blade ratio is about 1 to 4 instead of 1 to 2. The yari was a spear, a blade on the end of a long pole. The whole affair was traditionally about 1.6 to 2.6 meters long and incredibly lethal when used by a master, being essentially a katana with loads of extra length and flexibility. Samurai led their lives according to the code of Bushido, which means the way of the warrior. The code of Bushido has 4 main points to follow. These were frugality. The samurai would only live with a few simple pleasures. Loyalty, undying to the daimyo, martial arts mastery, and seppuku. If the samurai was disgraced, he would commit ritual suicide. Many samurai also followed the teachings and practices of Zen Buddhism. The fall of the samurai started at the beginning of the Edo period. The period of peace meant that samurai became bored and often underpaid. They began to go to more shady areas, such as the kabuki theatre, which was usually prohibited because kabuki actors were considered eta, an outcast social class. The hierarchy of the samurai began to crumble. At the beginning of the Meiji period, the period after the Edo period, the samurai order was finally abolished. Thank you for watching this episode on Shogunate Japan. The next episode in this series is on peasants, artisans, and craftspeople. Goodbye for now.